Linguistic anthropology is the study of human languages and how language affects, shapes, and expresses culture. It can be said that language is culture's most important feature because language encodes culture and provides a means to transmit from one generation to the next a people's beliefs and practices. As it was briefly mentioned in week 1, anthropological linguistics is divided into 3 specific subfields: historical linguistics, structural linguistics, and social linguistics. With regard to historical linguistics, anthropologists compare the similarities and differences of language structures so they can understand how languages are related and have evolved over time, as well as how people might have migrated in the past. With regard to structural linguistics, anthropologists study how sounds are put together to make meaning. Noam Chomsky, for example, is known as the father of modern structural linguistics. He developed the theory of universal grammar, which will be discussed later. With regard to social linguistics, anthropologists study how people use language within their culture to express status and context. Sociolinguists study not only spoken language, but also body language in different cultural contexts. All human languages are symbolic. Symbols convey meaning, and the symbols do not necessarily have an obvious connection between the symbol and what they represent or refer to. Symbols are learned. Humans think in language. Language could not exist without culture, and culture, therefore, cannot exist without language. Language can be nonverbal, but often we think of language as the spoken word. In this slide, we're going to look at some of the basic anatomy with regard to the way sound is created to produce the spoken word. Voice is created by the vibration of the vocal folds in the larynx when they are pulled tightly together. Different positions and movements of the tongue, the lips, and the jaw help to produce different speech sounds. The larynx, or the voice box, in humans, is in a lower position in the throat compared to other primates. Because of the lower position of the voice box, it creates a longer throat cavity, allowing for it to serve as a resonating and amplifying chamber. This resonating and amplifying chamber is known as the pharynx. The palate, or the roof of the mouth, is rounded in shape. Along with the mouth and the tongue, it allows for a greater variety of sounds. Together, the roof of the mouth, the larynx, and the pharynx help us to produce all the sounds that we hear in our spoken language. Evolution has played a significant role in allowing us to develop the ability to speak. For example, the adaptation of becoming bipedal has allowed for the development of other anatomical changes within our species. Being bipedal means to walk upright on 2 legs. For example, the spine attachment goes from being in the back of the skull, found in other primates, such as chimpanzees and orangutans, who are quadrupedal, to being moved toward the center of the base of the skull as found in humans. This brought about changes in the shape and the position of the mouth and the throat anatomy, giving us greater ability to make the sounds we are making today. It also allowed for the brain to become more developed and bigger compared to the other animals in relationship to their entire body. It freed up our hands, allowing us to use them for more advanced activities. And this also allowed for brain development to advance and increase in cognitive ability. Our ability to speak and to understand speech is believed to take place primarily in two locations of the brain. Our ability to speak and to write is believed to take place in an area called the Broca's area. The Broca's area is located in the left frontal lobe near the temple. Our ability to comprehend speech, on the other hand, is believed to take place somewhere between the temporal lobe and the parietal lobe in an area called Wernicke's area. It is located just behind the left ear.